you look at where the value is for the client, Murray, if you put a bit of a client perspective on it, where's the value for them? If they've got a model that reflects what they've, an electronic model that reflects what they've got, obviously in the real world, and they can do things like maintenance planning on that, they can do performance planning on that, they can train their people on that. That, to me, if I got the client, that's real money, that's benefits, isn't it? Kind of looking backwards and the paper trail and everything, I'm just testing how useful that is. Although it's important to have built it on the right blocks. I get that from the right foundation. That end use that I'd say.
So that you raise another point then about cost versus value. So cost of building and I guess cost of maintaining. Then so there's some sweet spot once it's in operation. What you're saying is it will, there's a certain level of functionality which is really valuable to them, but beyond that it's not really valuable, and you could spend a lot of time making something absolutely spot on.
And this you raise, that's a really good point, because that's where clients, has that point been found? I don't think so. And clients are working out where that point is, the level of detail they're going to put into it, or ask at the likes of ourselves or yourselves to build into it. There's also suppliers as well with all the packages. There's lots of information going in there versus what they're going to get out the back end. And leadership role here to try and acquaint our clients. I got asked a few years ago a very good question from Statoil, now Equinor, and they simply said, when we were talking about these futuristic models, they said, what's the product and what's the benefit and what's the cost of that service to us? And I think that's the key thing. What we've got to do is help a client relate the product that we're giving them, the benefit they get, and link that in fully into the business model.
Yeah, I always do the what's in it for me test. You can, generally it is perceived that you have to spend a lot of money to give the client the all singing, all dancing model that they specify for delivery when they go into operations. My view is that if it doesn't have value for us in the project phase, then they're going to struggle to get it. They're going to struggle with quality, and they're going to struggle with spending the extra money to try and get it. My principle is, if it doesn't add value to us now, it is going to be very hard to do and probably isn't worth doing for us. There are some exceptions to that, but by and large, I've found that if we build a digital model now, a digital twin now on the project we've just been working on, for example, it adds value to the feed stage now by building this little baby digital twin. We wouldn't expand it. We wouldn't do any extra work that requires extra cost. We are simply doing what we've always done, only doing it in a more rigorous manner and centralizing all that information into one place and structuring it very carefully. So the man hours are actually less, because as we're using the data, as we're using the content of the digital twin, we're finding it much easier to find. And the other thing that's really important is we're finding that the information in the digital twin is trustworthy. My view is that trust is the most important word in the whole of this conversation.